60 years ago today, the National Hockey League's race barrier was broken by Willie O'Ree, the league's first black player. But one ugly incident in a recent youth league game showed how players, even today, face racism on the ice. Amna Nawaz has the story of how one young man and his team chose to rise above it.
A rinkside view and an insider's tour with the Washington Capitals. A dream come true for 13-year-old Divine Apollon.
What is it you love about playing hockey?
Everything. I was at an ice rink once and there was like a hockey lesson or something like that, and I wanted to try it out, so I did and I enjoyed it.
First day, he fell about 25 times. He fell. You know, I thought he was going to leave. He had his biggest grin on his face. I want to do that. I love his daddy. Yes. And ever since then, he's been on the ice.
Divine plays with a Maryland youth team called the Metro Maple Leafs, and he spent 5 years learning to play and love the game. But he's also learned the hard truth about being a black player in a mostly white sport. That truth hit hard last month when an opposing team taunted him with racist jeers.
You could tell that the tension was starting to rise right on the first period.
Divine's coach, Brad Howington.
And next thing you know, he's got two kids mauling him, and then he defends himself. I'll admit, I saw it. I saw the anger in his eyes. I saw the children, consoling him, and it just threw me in a tailspin. And I had to go in the locker. I had to go in the bathroom and calm myself down.
Divine's teammates leapt to his defense on the ice, and their story caught the country's attention, including Capitals players John Carlson and Devontae Smith-Pelly, who immediately responded.
But we were so happy to see your team stand up to defend and support each other.
We would like to invite your entire team to the game on January 14th. Enjoy the game, and we look forward to seeing you after. You feel for Divine, and he's still a kid. What I can do is show what a good Samaritan is, and by inviting him to the game and having his team that stuck with him as well, I think that's, maybe brings them a little bit of joy and also sheds a little light on, this terrible scenario that he was in.
It's disgusting, but what I first thought when it happened was, I'm not really that surprised. Like, it's kind of a thing that still goes on.
Their outreach to Divine followed fellow NHL star PK Subban's dispatch to another black youth player facing racist taunts in Detroit.
As long as you're still breathing in this world, you gotta believe in yourself and let nobody tell you what you can and can't do, especially if it's because of the color of your skin.
Though the ranks of black NHL players have grown over the 60 years since Willie O'Ree broke hockey's race barrier, even superstars like Smith-Pelly, who helped propel his team to last year's Stanley Cup title with breathtaking goals like this,
A shot and they score! And it's Devontae Smith-Pelly!
continue to face the same racism that Divine did.
That type of thinking, that's not how the majority of people are thinking. It's a small group of ignorant people that are doing that kind of thing, and your teammates showed that, majority of people, they don't think that way.
Divine's dad says he's been here before.
He's my third child, so my two daughters play tennis as well. So we dealt with some of that. Being in certain country clubs, they didn't want us there. We kind of got the cold shoulder a lot of times. It was dealing with that, so I taught them that as well when they play tennis. Because, the sports they play aren't quote-unquote traditional black sports.
So he's worked hard, he says, to brace his son for the discrimination he may face on and off the ice.
That's not your job to deal with adults, the refs, or anything like that. Even other players, your job is just to dominate. Your job is to play. You're playing chess. You got to think about what you're doing, why they're saying it to you, because obviously they want you off the ice. And if you react to it, the ref always sees the reaction, not the action. So you want to focus on staying on the ice as long as possible, and that's later on in life. You get older, and in 3 or 4 years from now, he'll be driving. Police pull you over for whatever reason, which happens often. You can't just react.
How did you come to a point where you realized you had to ask your dad, should I ignore these things? Should I say something?
I don't really ask him about it, but he tells me about it and says that when I'm on the ice, ignore it and just keep on playing, but then when I get off, tell an adult or tell somebody immediately.
How hard is it for you to do that?
It's not super difficult because it's something that I've been taught about and that I can just do.
I think it would disappoint a lot of people, and maybe even surprise a lot of people, to know that you've heard these things a lot.
Yeah, most definitely.
Did you hear that from other folks, that they were surprised to learn?
Yes, like the team family members. I was surprised.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
Because I didn't realize that people didn't know about things like that happening.
Why did that surprise you?
Because they just didn't know and I did, and I'm younger than they are, so I thought maybe that would be something that they knew.
By the time Devine and his teammates visit the Capitals, millions around the world have heard his story. Cameras now follow his every move. For the soft-spoken teen, it's a lot to handle. Wow. But the final horn signals a chance for these kids to be kids. Devine and his team tour the Capitals locker room and are soon joined by a parade of superstars. Devine's favorite player, Alex Ovechkin. Goalie, Braden Holtby.
How's hockey going?
Veteran defenseman, Brooks Orpik. And the men behind it all, Carlson and Smith-Pelly. Despite the Caps' loss to the St. Louis Blues, this room is all smiles.
How'd you like the game?
It was good. It would have been better if they won, though.
For Devine, this is the dream, to one day play in the NHL, a dream he refuses to give up.
Have you ever for a second thought about stopping?
No.
Why not?
Because I put too much time and effort into it, and I love it too much to give up on it.
For the PBS NewsHour, I'm Amna Nawaz in Washington, D.C.
What a great, important story. Thank you.